Albany, worried the state could be getting ready to end the cross-party endorsement of candidates. The Minor Working Families Party is asking local candidates it is considering supporting this year to sign a letter opposing the move. A 2019 questionnaire the party put together for local candidates seeking its backing includes a question asking if those under consideration support what is known as fusion voting and if they'd sign a letter to governor advertisement. Don't you see the strong-arming here? Erie County Democratic Party Chairman Jeremy Zellner, who supports ending fusion voting, said of the letter, Cuomo and the legislature in support of the system. New York is one of just 3 states that allow for the cross-endorsement of candidates on different party lines. A growing number of officials have called for the system to end, saying it gives minor parties outsized influence over the major parties. Besides Zellner, Jay Jacobs, chairman of the state and Nassau County Democratic parties, Suffolk County Executive Steve Maloney, a Democrat, and State Sen. Diane Savino, DSA have also publicly said fusion voting should end. The state Democratic Party's Progressive Caucus, which pushed a resolution to end fusion voting in 2016, is readying a letter to party leadership again pushing the change. We've been long-time proponents of the idea, said caucus chairwoman Rachel Lavini. Jacobs said Sunday he continues to oppose fusion voting in principle, but in practicality it's a much more complicated issue. It is something that I think merits discussion and serious consideration, he said. There are solid arguments that it has watered down and weakened the Democratic Party vote over the years, certainly in key competitive areas like the suburbs and upstate New York, by helping Republican candidates who are also supported by the conservative and independents parties, Jacobs said. But the letter the Working Families Party is asking candidates to sign argues that fusion voting lets minor parties play a constructive role in state politics. Right now, New Yorkers can vote on a minor party line to express their values and policy preferences without spoiling an election or wasting their vote, the letter says. Taking that choice away from voters in our state is fundamentally anti-democratic. We should be empowering voters and making it easier for voters to express their viewpoints, not limiting their choices. Insiders say a number of Democrats wouldn't mind doing away with fusion voting because it would hurt Republicans more by requiring the conservative and independents parties, that have often cross-endorsed GOP candidates, to field separate candidates. If the WFP parade bosses really cared about passing progressive legislation and protecting Democratic majorities, they would support ending the system that enables the conservatives and the independents party to prop up Republicans in swing districts and redoing the Democratic Party, one Albany insider said. Instead, they are blackmailing local candidates for coroner and dog catcher to protect their own power. But doing away with fusion voting could be tough, as many Democratic state legislators ran with Working Families Party backing. Gustavo Rivera, D. Bronx, credits the party with having helped elect more liberal Democrats to the legislature, including him in 2010 against Sen. Advertisement Senator Pedro Espada, who subsequently went to federal prison on corruption charges. I certainly recognize how important they have been in making sure we have the Democratic Party we have right now and the Democrats we have in office right now, Rivera said. He added that the opposition to fusion voting kind of reeks of a little bit of vengeance to me. New State Senator Alessandra Biaggi, D. Bronx, said without the WFP, a group of breakaway Democrats who were aligned for years in a leadership coalition with the Senate Republicans would still be a powerful force, still serving special interests, still blocking key legislation. The WFP stood up for real, progressive Democrats when a lot of institutional players did not, Biaggi said. Supporters of the Working Families Party last September. Cuomo and the Working Families Party have long had an uneasy relationship. Jason DeCroo/AP, the minor party took the extraordinary step last year of backing Cynthia Nixon, who mounted a Democratic primary challenge against Cuomo. After he easily defeated Nixon, the party moved her off the ballot and reluctantly backed Cuomo. Despite the tensions, a Cuomo official said ending fusion voting is not something we've given a lot of thought to. Assembly Speaker Carl Heastie will be traveling Thursday to Washington to meet with members of New York's Democratic congressional delegation to discuss state infrastructure needs pertaining to affordable housing and transportation and how they can help. I am looking forward to speaking with the delegation about more federal funding for the New York City Housing Authority, and the MTA along with other infrastructure funding, Heastie, D. Bronx, said. He said he also wants to discuss the importance of changing a provision in the federal tax law that eliminated much of the federal deductibility of state and local taxes.